Welcome to Prime Space, a Prime Coaching Academy podcast with your host, Elias Scultori. Coaches, this past January, I had the opportunity to spend some time in Mexico. Part was working, part was pleasure. I love Mexico. It's a country where I really feel welcome. Perhaps the climate, the warmth of the people, the food. I always have a wonderful time in Mexico. And this time, while I was there, I visited the Mayan city of Uxmal. Uxmal is one of the major Mayan archaeological sites in Central America, with its buildings and the pyramids. We had a guide telling us the stories and the symbolism of everything that we were seeing. I was in my element there. It is amazing to me when I have the opportunity to experience a different culture. It excites me. The learning we get when we are able to see the world through a different set of eyes. What's behind that ritual? What made them be so focused on this aspect of life and not the other? What was the thought process that got them to act this way? Why was their society structured in this manner? And then to see how advanced they were in their knowledge of nature and the world at large. I'm fascinated by these things because they force me to see the world through a different lens. They push me to step outside my cocoon and realize that the world is way bigger than my own little perspective. There is much more in this life than my own experience. I'm sharing this story with you because it is an analogy for a coaching skill we don't talk about much. And in fact, I believe it to be one of the most critical ones and perhaps one of the most difficult ones for a coach to attain. The capacity of a coach to put aside their own perspectives and to be able to transport themselves into the world of the client. I'm going to say this again. The capacity of the coach to put aside their own perspectives, their own beliefs, their own persona, their own stuff, perhaps even their own values, and to be able to transport themselves into the world of the client. This is not an easy task. We live 24 hours, 7 days a week, 360 days a year inside the little space between our ears, that little brain of ours that is so fantastically powerful and also so infinitesimally small. Our minds are our home. It is in there that we experience love, fears, joys, sorrows, insight, innovation, connection, despair, pain, bliss. Everything goes through this little but amazing organ we have inside our heads. And because this is all we have, we tend to believe that the thoughts and the ideas running through our minds are it. This is the truth. This is the only way we perceive this world, so it must be real. This is reality. We live today in a very divided world. And if we pay attention, this is all because we have become so strict, so self-involved, so defensive about our own beliefs. fearful that they are going to go away. So much so that we seem to have lost the courage to listen, to connect, to see the other, to see ourselves in the eye of the other. And here comes coaching, asking us to serve the other. And how often do we take this task as a way to once again simply occupy the space with our own stuff? We go to coaching, and then there it is. My assumptions, my values, my needs, my need to be right, my need to create value, my need to feel valued, my need to be smart and wise. My intuition must be right. My experience must be the key. My knowledge has to be essential. Is that right? What else is there that I'm not seeing? What else am I blinded to? And in my arrogance, also preventing my clients from seeing. What is our client's truth? What is their reality, their resourcefulness, their knowledge? I don't know. And in fact, I will never know. Because even with all the coaching experience and life experience that I may have, I may get a glimpse of their perspective, but I am not living their experience, their life experience. And therefore, I will never experience it fully. I will never know it fully. So, can I catch a breath? Can I shut up for a second? Can I listen? Can I provide room? Do I have the courage to set myself aside and allow the client to take center stage? What is truly happening there? What is making them see this situation this way? What is making them feel this way? What are the intrinsic motivators that are bringing them here? Who do they want to be in this moment? Who do they believe to be in this moment? Because we are so used to our own ways, it is so hard to imagine that there can be another way. The client's way. It is hard to believe that the client's way may not be my way. Imagine that. And because we become so enamored by our own way, without realizing, we trump ourselves in the space of the other. We end up preventing our clients from occupying their own space and realizing their own story. So, Elias, how do we cultivate this skill? Well, here are a couple of things for you to think about. The first thing is to practice being humble. One of the tenets we have at Prime Coaching Academy is coaching is a humbling and courageous experience. Regardless of whatever we have accomplished in this world, we know nothing when it comes to the other. Our brains are powerful, but they are minuscule compared to the immensity of this world. I am one, a small part of this whole human experience. There is so much more on the other side. Let's approach coaching with that humble heart. Another key ingredient for me is curiosity. I like to say that curiosity is the fuel of coaching. It is this mighty trait that supports everything we do in coaching. Without this authentic, real interest in what is happening on the other side, we can't do anything in coaching. We can't listen, we can't ask questions, we can't establish session agreement. We can't do anything without being truly, sincerely curious about this person in front of us, fascinated by them. We are invited to be enthralled by the other person, eager to learn from them, fascinated by their existence. So much so that our own stuff, our own brilliance, becomes inconsequential. They are in the spotlight. This is their time to shine. This is their moment. I am only a guest. Thank you again for listening, and thank you for pondering on these concepts. It's truly a privilege for me to share this with you and to get this space in your life for you to consider these concepts. Please share, please like, please subscribe, and reach out to me if you have anything that you would like me to address here in these episodes. Otherwise, enjoy your week, and I will talk with you next time.